Alright, I'm gonna ride a scooter, electric scooter, for the first time. We're in downtown LA, and there's 4 of us. Woo! So, we're gonna make this happen. So a couple of nights ago, we decided to go to downtown LA to see this dance music festival thing that they have over there, and after about an hour of watching people dance, we got hungry, and so we decided to go and have the best ramen in LA County. This is the second best ramen in LA. This is the best ramen in LA. But as the song goes, nobody walks in LA, and so therefore, scooters, electric scooters. Why are they on the sidewalk? We're going? Okay. I got stuck in the red light. No, the light was red. I was almost. Yeah, it's a lot easier without carrying all this crap. It would be fun. Oh, these newbies. These noobs. Come on, what is this crap? Yeah, mine is not going. Come on! One is running out of battery. Oh, one more. One more.
It's not even going fast enough to stay on.
Man, mine goes fast. The one that I made doesn't even know you're on it. Yeah. This thing doesn't go up hills very well. It's going like 5 miles an hour maybe. Full throttle. Pedal to the metal. You're not gonna make it.
It's all dying. It's like you weigh way too much.
I wonder if the battery, does it tell you how much battery it has?
That?
Oh, it's fully charged, so. So we'll just leave them up here. Yeah. So we survived. Survived the ride. None of us fell. None of us got run over. So you have to use the app to click it?
Validate proper parking. Take a photo of where you parked the line to help the next rider find it.
I know. My map's like all squiggly because I stopped and there. And that's where Evelyn kept jumping off.
Yeah.
Okay, so now what do I do?
That's it. We go home.
We made it to the car.
No dance. All right, everyone. How is everyone doing? Let me see here if I can put my screen. Oh, there we go. Higher. It wasn't bright enough. So, who's with us tonight? 103 of you guys watching tonight. I'm up about an hour earlier today because I know that you guys back east always want to watch. Of course, if you don't know, if this is your first time here, there's about 5,000 new subscribers to the channel since Friday. So if this is your first time here, this is a live just chat that we have. It's like a live stream. And we just basically talk about batteries. And you guys ask the questions, and I try my best to answer them. And we do it every Monday night, usually around 8 p.m. here California time. But today is 7 p.m. to try to be, if you guys are back east, then you guys can do it. And so, yeah, there's 113 of us just here watching. And by the way, have you guys watched the latest videos? I put a couple of videos today, yesterday, and then another one, a few days ago. Yeah, have you guys watched it? What do you guys think about those? Where are you guys from? And what are you guys building? Let me know. Let me see here. I've been purchasing and testing multiple cell balancers as well. The Smooth Goat. Of course, he's talking about the picture that I use as the thumbnail of this video. I want to talk about these cell balancers. Of course, I don't have much info because I just got my hands on these as they recently popped up in the in the internets, in the China market, and so I want to test these guys. But I do want to talk about a few ideas about them because they're very interesting, right? But before we get into that, let's just kind of check out who is here. This is a big coincidence because I have a question about a battery pack I'm building, says Cyan Chris. There you go. Well, maybe we can answer the questions here. Let's see. Thank you, Ju. Be on the lookout for it. I will post a video on my Facebook page. Cesar Studios. What's he talking about? I think he's talking about last week's giveaway. I gave away some little PCB power strips that I do, and those should be going out. I send them to my people that are helping me ship stuff out, and I think they went out already. And so you guys should be receiving those pretty soon. Let's see. Good timing. Drunk. I'm here, says Matthew. Good evening. Oh my God. There's a lot of you guys posting questions for the fake video. There we go. What's up, everyone? Random Randy is in the house. By the way, he is a member of this channel. When they have... Oh, man, I forgot to put my brother made a little icon instead of that thing, that S. He made me a little icon with a battery. I have to put it in the channel so that it appears there instead of this one or whatever. I'll do it next week, sometime this week, so that, yeah. So anyways, anyone that has that little sign, it means that they've joined the channel. There's a button on the bottom. You can join. You can help me monetarily to have these live streams and stuff. These guys are the ones that are paying. There's quite a few of you guys, about 50 of you guys. I think more than 50 of you guys. I have to look in there and make a list so I can thank you all you guys for all the support. I have 12 38 120s that I used to replace 36 volt lead acid battery, says Cyan Chris. Oh, there you go. Hanging with Will Prowse. This old tech, yes. Well, that was a couple of weeks ago. These are just videos that I'm getting around to uploading now. Of course, somehow you would think that by now it would be easier for me to upload videos, but it hasn't been the case. I've been struggling more and more to get time to make videos, right? The projects keep getting bigger and more elaborate. I somehow keep throwing myself more and more tasks that are non-video related, and so by the time I'm like, how come I don't have time? It's like hours during the day to make videos, but I just relieved myself from all the duties of having to ship stuff from the PCBs that you guys are ordering, and so that's helping a lot, right? So that's why I have been able to get back and do a couple of videos, even though that last video that I uploaded today that took very little time. I just kind of put together the time. There's very little editing in that video, but it almost works that way. The more harder that I work on a video, the less you guys like it, the less you guys seem to view it. Then whenever I just put something together that I think is not gonna be nothing, boom, it goes crazy. That video today's got I don't know, 30,000 views already or something. It's going crazy. Eric the Goat Guy is also here. Hey, just kill my goat. Wow. I'm building an e-bike and I'm from Ohio, says Ethan Solers. That's pretty good. I have a few batteries that are good for e-bikes. I actually have to do an e-bike build so I can help, a lot of you guys, because that's a huge market and I need to get into that and just make a, build and stuff. From Washington State, just learning, says Adrian Selden. Been building 36 volts, 200 amp power supply since Nathan. Been looking, okay, just planning out an e-bike harder than I thought, says Bro Pilot. Really? Well, yeah, I guess it could be a little daunting if it's your first time. But yeah, I don't know. I find it, I guess I haven't done it, so I can't even speak for that, But I have done the skateboards, and I realized that I need to update all those videos with skateboards. So now that I'm making some time, that I'm getting rid of some of the tasks that I'm hopefully I'm gonna get more time to make videos and I get to all those. I bought an IMAX B6 charger, which can do up to 6S. Can I run the batteries in 12S and charge them in 6S 2P? I bought them, balanced them, but I noticed a little drift. Yes, if you build 2 packs, disconnect them, and then you can connect them in parallel. You should be able to charge them in 6S. Yeah, anything above 8S, it's hard to do with these RC chargers. Yeah, for some reason they never went above 8. They should really be doing 14S, up to 14S, but I guess those are considered big projects, I guess, big RC things, and yeah, that's why I'm doing other stuff with the charging things. I've been messing around with these guys, and I've run into problems. I don't know if you've seen the pictures. If you're not following me on my other socials, then you're missing out because I'm working a lot of projects, and I usually post pictures over there of what I'm doing. And I'm working with making a big, power wall using these guys. But I'm running into a problem that the BMS shuts off, and then it's hard to turn it back on. Well, I don't know if it's hard, but I think without taking it apart, it's hard. So I think the best thing that I'm going to be able to do is prevent this from getting to the voltage where the BMS shuts off, because then it doesn't turn on. I have about 10 or so that I pushed them really hard, and it triggered the BMS to protect the cells. I can't get them to turn back on. Right? Even usually it's like you charge them back on, the BMS wakes up again, connects the battery, and then you're good to go. But I'm having trouble, so that's why I have that apart. And I've been, I've been sharing a lot of pictures out there in my socials, particularly the Facebook group. So if you have a Facebook and you want to join us, make sure you go to the Facebook group. Let me see. I'll put a link here so that you guys don't confuse the groups and stuff. Here we go. This is my group. Come on. I should be clearer this week because I think I did fix a little bit my connection here. I used to have really slow connection. And it was just this room. This is like a dead spot here in my home. Let's see. Is that it? Come on. Why doesn't it let me? It just gave me an error. Why is that? So there we go. The group. Here's the group. There we go. I'm going to post that. There we go. It let me post it for some reason. Alfredo Rivera says, do you think there's a market for a complete battery testing solution? I'm talking about internal resistance, capacity, temperature, as well as software to put the packs together from the info. It's hard to say. I mean, I always thought that this market wasn't big enough, like the people that would be putting batteries together. But I have always been, I've always been surprised because here I am. There's thousands of you guys that are following me on here, and a few hundred of you join every week on these, what would be considered by most people as very boring talks about batteries, right? But yeah, to hear you guys are, and so I don't know. I think there is a market. I don't know for how long that market will be there. I think as batteries become more abundant, as the need, uh, I think people are going to jump in the battery market, like home battery market and stuff. And so then people are going to be less inclined to do all these jump through hoops and build all the stuff yourself. Uh, so the what was I saying? Yeah, so I don't know for how much long. I know it's a huge market right now. I wouldn't recommend you investing on a product or something that's going to be for this market for too long. If you can't get something to market like within, you know the next 3 months or something, I'd say it's not worth it, because if you're taking 6 months to a year to develop some product or something for this market, the market might be gone by the time you can bring it, right? I just don't know how. I think it's a balloon market, right? Or it's a burst or whatever. I think within the next 1 or 2 years, batteries are going to be ubiquitous. You're going to be able to go to Home Depot. You're going to be able to go to Walmart and probably get some kind of a battery thing that you'll be able to install at home. And so then it's going to be like, why would you want to mess around with, breaking batteries apart and stuff? Unless you're like really limited in funds or whatever, which I guess that's not going to stop. That's going to keep growing in the United States, right? The rich keep getting richer, the poor keep getting poor. So there's going to be much more of us poor people that won't be able to afford the solutions that are commercially available. So yeah, I don't know. I'm hesitant always to say I've been through this again, like where I thought, oh man, this company, this product that I have is going to be good for the next 10 years. And then, 6 months later, I'm like, why is nobody buying this thing? The market just drastically changed and stuff. So, yeah, I'd say if you can't get something off the ground quickly, I'd say, yeah, don't waste your time. Just, don't spend too much time. Although the best products really take a long time to make. So, yeah, that's kind of a conundrum there. How to know if a balancer is junk or okay? Price? That is a weird question. The thing is, these things are so new in the market, right? These haven't really been around forever. So right now, the only way is for you guys to order some and test them, right? And so, that's part of my job. That's what I'm going to be doing. That's why I order all these things here. I have several of them now, and I got to put them to the test and actually, build them into some projects and then see how they do. I have a few ideas how to put these to the test and see how they work or not and stuff. And yeah, I'll be making some videos about that. So, any suggestions for the high discharge battery to be used in 4-watt racing? What's 4W racing? What's up for any suggestions? High discharge. So there's quite a bit of discharge batteries. Yeah, it depends. Like we have the LiPo cells, the 8 amp hour LiPo cells on mykit.com, right? Those are 200 amps, so 25C capable. Let me click on the kit.com where I can show you guys the thing. There's also the what are those? What the hell are these things? These guys. The headways. There's also the headways. These are also 25Cs, right? So these are a little bit bigger and heavier than the LiPos, but they can also put out about almost 200 amps, right? So those are high discharge cells. As far as 18650s, then you could also do the VTC6s that EV West is selling. So that's a good way to do it. I did my last video with those, right? Those are not quite 25C output, but they're probably like a 5 or 6C output. And so you should be able to use those. Man, look at this. My thing is really slow here. Am I even live? Yeah, it's green. It's going. So for some reason, this website is not loading. Come on, man. Load up. We got people waiting right here. Oh, man. I should really save all these links and stuff and to be able to give them to you. Anyways, go to kit.com/Jehu, and then you can look at my kits there where I have all the battery sources and stuff. And then there you can find all the batteries that I have and go through them. So those are battery suppliers that are tested and then proven by me, right? Most of them I've dealt with directly, and I've gotten batteries and tested them, and they're like, they're legit. There's a lot of batteries out there to be bought, but of course, you never know. You never know what you're going to be getting, right? So these ones, at the very least, there are a few of the ones that I've tested myself, and they have decent products, and they're not going to be complete junk and stuff. Will it balance a 256p 12S 26650 LiPo 4? So 256p, that's quite a big battery there. What's your... Yeah, that's a huge battery. I think it will, right? Like any of this is a 1 amp. It's just it'll do it at 1 amp. And so if your packs are drifting apart at higher than 1 amp, 1.5 amps, then this thing is not gonna be able to tackle that, right? You might be able to like need to use like several of these guys, maybe in parallel, so that they can stay above the this balanced currents, right? So the drift rate. So I also saw some that are up to like 10 amps, and I think that's what they're doing. They're just putting bigger components there, or either paralleling a bunch of these little units in a box, inside of a box or something. But yeah, you should be able to. You have to figure out what your rate of drift is, right? If you have cells that are drifting apart, you have to figure out what rate that is, and then you are able to tell. I mean, you don't have to. You could also just use one, put another one in there, and if your cells are still drifting apart, then you just add another unit. That's one way of doing it without having to do too much math and too much figuring and stuff. Yeah, but you should be able to find the right amount of balancing for your pack. By the way, if you have a pack that is, drifting apart too much, too fast, I would suggest you look at your cells and get rid of them. You know what I mean? Like whatever cells are just consuming energy all day, there's a point where you're like, you shouldn't be using that. Like, if you, because you think about it, that's just wasted energy, right? If you have a pack and every day there's like, kilowatt hours worth of energy being wasted in balancing here, then yeah, you got to think about all that energy. So yeah, get rid of them. Go through your packs and get the cells out that are bad. And it might be really worth it. Let's see here. What is that one? How to charge, let's see. How to charge 6S LiPo battery in the car? So you're saying in a car with a 12-volt battery? With a 12 volt? You would have to use a DC to DC, something like a boost, like the ones that I'm using here. Let's see, do I have one in here? Let's see. I'm currently using these guys. They are, of course, Chinese, and they're not all the same. You buy, depending on what seller you buy them, you might get good ones, or you might get some. Like these were sold to me as a 40 amp one, so about 1800, capable 1800 watts. But they're only putting out about 20 amps, right? So they're probably like 700 watts max. And so these are boosts. So you will be able to put 12 volts here and then go to 24 here, right? So you can look at some of those. I have a video about these guys that I made where I asked the question if we could use those to charge our batteries. And of course we can. I've been testing them. And they've been okay, I think there's a way that you can put a couple of them together here. Well, here, what I was testing, I was just seeing if I could put two of these in parallel and have them not blow each other up. And so far so good. I should be able to do like 40 amps with these two 20 amp ones. Um, right? Of course, I would want to probably get the 40 amp ones actually, and then parallel too, so you can do more than that. But the point was that you could parallel them, and those have been they're doing okay. So that's how you would be able to charge 6S off of a car. Um, Oh, I see. And then people are kind of answering you here, or hook it up to that. Okay, wow. So yeah, there's a lot of people that are kind of answering your thing. Find a way to use TP456 plus P chips in series for individual cell balancing. The key is diodes between the chips. Problem is only one C output per 4S grouping. Yeah, and also the diodes waste some energy there. You have to make sure that it's not so much that it makes all your system super inefficient, right? You got to stay below a certain amount of efficiency. Lipos are unstable. Lipo 4s or lipos are expensive, and normal chemistries are bad at discharging. Well, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of truth to every single one of your statements there, but at the same time, not really. Lipos are in everything. I mean, lipos are in our, phones and our tablets and my car. My Chevy Volt there for 6 years had lipo cells in there. Yeah, so yeah, if you know what you're doing, you should be able to use them without them being too dangerous, too risky. You can find some of these that are not super expensive, and yeah, you should be able to make a battery large enough to get your discharge rate, what you need, without the cells, completely stressing out. Batteries with built-in BMS success. Yeah, they can. They can be problematic. So I think this BMS is not super strong. I'm looking at the MOSFETs here, and I'm like, woo. So I think that's the problem. Even though these cells are probably capable of quite a bit of high power, I think they're probably triggering about 10 amps. So you need about 10 of these to do about 100 amps. Well, that's not that bad, I guess. I think it's less than that. I think it's probably like 5 amps. Yeah, I have to do the test on that, and that's what I'm doing here, so that we can build that battery pack and prevent it from destroying itself or triggering the BMS that you can't wake up again. BMS will do all the balancing and such on itself. Some BMSs will do. Or, now with these, is like, now what we're looking at is, here's the problem. Or here's the challenge. The challenge is that we're building giant battery packs, right? I mean, if you're watching this, you probably want to do some kind of like Powerwall, right? There's some of you that want to do like e-bikes or whatever, right? But if you're doing a Powerwall, then you're talking about a big battery, 10 kilowatt hours and above or something. If you're here because you want to do like a car, it's even worse. You're talking about almost 50 to 100 kilowatt output, right? And so in order to have that, the typical BMSs that have, MOSFETs or whatever, then those are just not going to cut it. There's nothing that big that makes it. So what you have to do is you have to separate the BMS. And what you do is you have a unit like this that balances, right? So this one kind of checks and balances. But then you need a unit that actually sends a signal to a big switch. Because now if you're switching, a multi-hundred amp, unit battery pack, then you need a big switch. And it's usually like a mechanical thing. That's what everyone's using. Tesla uses, we're using them on our DIY cars. We use a big relay that's called a contactor. And so you just need a device that can control that contactor that says, hey, one of your battery cells groups is below or high or, too hot or whatever you want to set it to trigger it. and then it disconnects that main switch so that it doesn't kill the rest of your battery or it doesn't overcharge your battery, causing it to catch fire, all kinds of stuff, right? So a BMS is really like separate things, right? It's a balancing unit, right? And this ones are separate. Like this is a standalone balancing units that we're starting to look at, and then it's a big switch, right? And so it also has to meter the amount of current that goes by so that it can decide if it's going to step in and do all that stuff, right? So once you understand that all that, then you can start using this. This is not a complete BMS. This is just only part of it, right? This is a part that you can have in your battery there separate, and it can be acting separately from your battery pack. It just could just be like balancing. The problem is that that if this fails to balance your batteries at fast enough rate and your cells keep still, falling, drifting apart from each other, then your main, cutoff switch or whatever, your other systems might not know that your cells are drifting apart. And so then they might still kill your pack, right? Or a group or whatever. You might damage your battery because this didn't communicate with the other one. So there's levels of security. It's not black and white like most things in life. It's, you're not going to use gold as wires because it's the best conductor in the world, right? No, we use copper because copper is good enough. It gets the job done without breaking the bank, right? So it's the same thing with these. You are going to be, there's levels of it, and you will be able to use some of these little systems for some battery packs and for some design and stuff. It's, you're not going to have to use like the best BMS available out there that does everything and stuff. You can, but not always, right? So that's what we're always trying to do here, trying to find the stuff that gets the job done without breaking the bank. I'd only use LiPo4 in automotive applications. I kind of that's ESQ. I always recommend people to do that instead of putting like some electronic device between battery packs, which you can use, and if you design the system correctly, you can successfully do it. But if you can just get a battery that just works, the voltages work without having to have a lot of switching and a lot of boosting and in between, or electronics in between, then you have a better, more robust system, right? There's less moving parts and things to go wrong. And so if for people that are using 12 volt automotive voltages and systems, LiPo4 is the way to go. Of course, LiPo4, it's not as common, and it's actually more expensive because it's a rare, chemistry, right? Some people, I've seen it where people are like, "Oh, this is the new chemistry, is LiPo4," and I'm like, "What are you talking about? LiPo4 has been around for a long time. LiPo4, lithium iron phosphate, right? We're done using that on the DIY, electric car scene, right? We were using those, 10 years ago. That's when it really started. And by the time I came around 6 years ago, it was, about half of us were like, lithium iron phosphate, that's what you need to do. And then a few of us were like, why don't we start using these other batteries, like Tesla is. And now I think, most people are, lithium iron phosphate, I think now it lives on energy storage systems, right? And RVs and stuff, I think that's totally fine. People that are not going to totally geek out on batteries, that is probably the best. People that are not going to want to have extra equipment to step down or boost up voltages and stuff, lithium iron phosphate. But of course, like anything, it's changing. And if you want the smallest, lightest battery, that you can have, then you're going to have to use lithium coal oxide, which might require you to do some crazy stuff to boost up or or lower down your voltages and stuff. What are your thoughts on Batrium, says Brian Sommers? I think Batrium is good. I think this guy has spent enough time building and designing that thing. I think he's very conservative when it comes to this design and stuff, and he's he doesn't cut corners, and so I think he's got a good product. So it doesn't quite, I think he's getting there now where it might work with my stuff that I'm doing with the PCBs and stuff, uh, yeah, I think it's good. You know, I think it's among the best out there. I think it's still a little too hard to use. I remember setting mine up, and it really required him to be on, on the screen sharing thing, and he would try to explain it to me, and at the end, he ended up having to do it himself because we can work. I had a weird setup here where I don't have a. I didn't want to use a Windows-based machine, and his system is set up in a Windows-based machine. So we kind of struggled for a little bit, but then at the end, I had to just use the Windows uh, installation that I have on my Mac here, and then we were able to do it like that, right? But I still found it really hard to set up. Like, it's not easy, as opposed to like something like this guy, the Electrodacus. Now, this guy, anyone can install this. I mean, not anyone, but I mean, more people, right? Like, I I do recognize that I have an aversion to Windows, and as soon as I have to use it, I'm like, oh my god, I don't want to kill myself. But this guy designed a GUI here that has steps, and then there's little buttons here. I mean, this is a work of art, and if Batrium were to make this like standalone system like this with their own GUI and their own menus in here, and you can run through the diagrams and the step-by-step setup and stuff, it would be hard to compete with that. I think it would be, so those are the only criticism that I have about it. Yeah, I mean, I would be pushing Batrium way more if I was able to kind of work with them, but again, like I mentioned before, they're kind of struggling to to grow fast enough right now, and so without my endorsements, they're still kind of struggling to kind of get units out there and to do all this stuff. So yeah, it's not the right time. Maybe he'll get there. Maybe he'll get there where like I'll be able to get behind it and I can be promoted and stuff and using it some of my systems and stuff, and But as of right now, that's why I'm like I'm exploring other commercially available systems out there. Let me open the door here so my dogs don't start. All right. What was that? Someone sent me a message. Let's see. Let's see. Oh my God. People are sending me a lot of messages. Okay, I'm talking a lot. I'm not reading a lot of your questions. DIY BMS is possible, but not cost effective, says Brass. I don't know. There are several BMSs that are. The Electrodacus is actually working on a standalone BMS. This is not a standalone BMS. This is actually a solar charge controller and a BMS, but it is kind of limited on the design. Like, there's only a certain amount of panels that you can use. You have to have the right amount of cells, right? Wait, can you use more? Yeah, this works on 12 volt. Yeah, anything up to 8S, right? And lithium iron phosphate and lithium cobalt oxide. But as far as the panels, I believe they have to be like the 60 cell. I might be wrong on that, except from what I remember, right? And so, yeah, he is working on one that doesn't have the MOSFETs that have switching. So he's building a smaller, simpler system that you can do the switching outside, like I was mentioning with the mechanical contactor, big relay that is contactor can handle, hundreds and hundreds of amps. You can have some that can handle 1,000 amps if you wanted to have that, that big thing like that. Let's see. Ooh, yeah, you guys are like, there's a lot of comments here. I'm not gonna be able to read through all your comments, guys. Let me open this window larger. There we go. Island Times is in the house. He's saying Batrium is too expensive. It would seem so. It would seem that a lot of you guys think Batrium is too expensive, right? What is the price of Batrium? As I remember, it's somewhere around the $500, right? Which I don't think that's a lot. I don't think that's too expensive. If you're building a big battery bank, if you're building anything like, 10 kilowatt hours or more, you know. But it does seem that way, and you know, yeah, I don't know. You know, I wish they could build them faster. I wish they were easier to use, so that I could really get behind them, because really need we need a good system. You know. Let's see. Are you able to produce solar panels with a 3D printer? I don't know about that. I don't think so. I don't know how. I haven't found it under 2 gram lithium can discharge 3.5 kilowatts. So you want 3.5 kilowatts, but you say you haven't found an under 200 grams lithium ion. Oh, yeah. Well, 200. Yeah, that's quite a bit small. Great Scott for the win. Great video series on DIY BMS. Uh, let's see here. Another question for me, maybe. I saw James Halbrook says I saw Adam Welch do a DIY BMS. Yes, so that is a project that is currently going, the DIY BMS, right? And yeah, I saw a couple of his videos too, and it seems promising. It seems good. I should probably look into that and see how good that works. You know, like by getting it in my hands and then trying it and giving it a shot. You know. Did you try laptop cells? Says Info Mario Ruse. Yeah, I mean, we started with laptop cells, 18650s. Now they're pouch cells, and we haven't tried those, but we are kind of getting our hands on some other ones. I know Tom Ammerman from BatteryHookups.com. Yeah, we were looking into building some things with a bunch of like smaller, like kind of phone, you know, lipo packs. So I think those are coming. So I think he's getting a bunch of them, or he's gonna land a deal where he's gonna keep getting a bunch of those. So you know, yeah, there's some packs that are coming. There's a lot of batteries that are coming that like I know they're going to. He's gonna have a lot of them, so we're gonna have to figure out how to make it easy for you guys to use them, so that you guys can build batteries with them or battery packs. So Batrium runs $400 to $800, I think. Yeah, okay. If you raise lipo, if you long range, consider lithium ion. Yep. Batrium for my 4S 12 volt system was around Australian $590. Okay. So I guess that's, I don't know what the Australian dollar is compared to the American dollar at the moment. Okay, so for a 14S, you need at least $1,000. Using Batrium, really? Wow, that I guess, yeah. I mean, $1,000. Yeah, you're now that's getting steep out there, I guess. Well, is it though? I think people. Okay. Here's the thing. I see a bunch of these guys, right? Like building their like 80 pack cells or whatever packs, modules with 80 cells, and then they use one Longmont with that pack, right? And then they like they run 14S, right? And then they run another 14S with those packs again, and I'm like, why aren't you connecting, you know, all of those? Why are you having several strings of 14S? Why aren't you paralleling all of those strings? You know, so you only have 14 groups of batteries, right, to do 48. Like if you do multiple strings, and you're gonna need like a bunch of these Longmonts, which are, you know, I don't know, like $15 or whatever, but you know, $15 times, you know, 50 of them things, you know, then it adds up. I think that's a dumb. I think people don't understand how to build battery packs, right? And so, you know, you look at someone like Peter, for example. Like, why is he running all the strings separate? Like, Why does he have like that giant screen with like he's managing like 50 some like or at least 40 like different battery packs, right? Where all he should be doing is monitoring 14 groups of cells, and you should only need 14 long ones, because as far as I know, a long one can actually manage quite big battery packs, right? As long as they're not in such bad shape that their drift rate exceeds the Longmon balancing rate, right? And as I know, what did he say? What was the Longmon? I think they'll do like 4 amps or something. Those do quite a bit. They can do quite a bit of power, right? So it should be able to manage a giant battery pack. And when you're building those things, don't copy Peter. Don't do the thing that he does. So you need like 50 of those things, right? Like you should be designing your pack so that you only need 14 uh, of the sensors, right? And so 14, times what is that? 14 times 15. I'm gonna try to do that math because you guys know. What did I say? Oh yeah, 14 times 15. So that should be about $200 worth of sensors of those long mons, plus, let's see, $400. I think that's what the little unit is, or I think it's more less. It's like, yeah, you shouldn't be spending more than $600. And of course, if Jaren is not, you know, recommending this sort of stuff, well, probably not, because I mean, Peter is kind of his guide, kind of his. Peter's kind of his like agent, right? He's kind of his spokesperson, or he gives him free advertising. So yeah, if he's not having Peter, eliminate the need for all those extra sensors, then yeah, I guess he's not recommending you guys to not spend all the money on all those extra sensors that you should need. So that's just my thoughts about that. I could be wrong, I guess, but as far as I understand, that's how it works. Are you aware of a BMS that connects to a lithium ion and LiPo, drawing from the lithium ion under low current load while charging the LiPo, or drawing from the no, that's seems like counterproductive. You don't need to have mixed chemistries. Yeah, maybe. I mean, even the use of like ultra caps and stuff, it's like, yeah, there could be some uh, case uses for that, but I think they're extremely rare. I never seen them. We don't need them for storage, and even for cars, regular cars, we don't need them. We've been building DIY cars now for years and stuff, and we've never needed that. We never, unless you're building some like exotic car that needs to have a tiny pack, and then even then, like you're just like, okay, just pick a good battery that can output the best battery, right? Like the most energy or power dense battery you can get, and then that'll be a much simpler thing. And I still have trouble finding the case used for ultra caps, and in this case, using lipos together with other chemistries, right? It can be done. I did it, but I didn't do it because of performance things. I did it because, well, I didn't have enough money to buy, one kind of battery. So I had 2 packs. I had lithium iron phosphate, and then I had lithium cobalt oxide, and I have 2 packs that were around, around 11, or what were they? About 30, what was it? Like 11 kilowatt hours each, I think. Yeah, 25 of lithium cobalt oxide, and 11 of the lithium iron phosphate, and I connected them together. I was able to do it successfully for years, and there was some of that stuff that you were saying, and some energy transferring between them while they were discharging and stuff. But again, I was out of necessity for not having anything else available or being able to buy one kind, right? But like, I'm designing my battery pack for my bus right now. I ain't gonna be using multi-chemistry, or like 2 kinds of chemistries in there because of performance. I'm just gonna kind of get the best battery that I can get, and then just do it all the same. So yeah, I don't think that system exists just because nobody needs it. Is there a LiPo BMS to replace a balanced charge? Is there a LiPo BMS to replace a balanced charge? Yeah, I think all the BMS, right? Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can use any BMS. I think that is within spec of your battery to do that. Summy says, "Hey Jehu, can you charge a battery pack with another battery pack?" Yes, I do it all the time. You do need. I mean, actually, you don't need if they're the same voltage, right? So let's say you have one cell or one pack that is 12 volts. Yeah, let's say 24 volts, 7S, right? That it's at 80% state of charge, and you have one that is at 10% state of charge. If you connect those two packs together, energy from the 80% state of charge battery is going to flow into the 10. Now you can't really control it too much. They're going to eventually arrive at somewhere in the middle. It's going to take a long time. Like a lot of energy is going to flow at first. Depending on the kind of cells that you have, could be up to like hundreds of amps or whatever, right? But then very quickly it just kind of tapers down to a few amps, and then it just trickles. Energy just trickles and trickles. And the closer the batteries, the battery packs get to the same voltage, then the slower the energy transfer happens. And so it could take a week or something for that battery to completely like balance to each other. But it will happen. You can do it that way, right? Now, of course, if you use if you use some, DC to DC switch with a boost capability or a buck capability to lower or to higher the voltage, then you can achieve that much quicker. You can actually charge. I mean, a battery is just an energy source, and that's all a charger needs, right? So if you put a charger in between the two battery packs, then you should be able to get them. So yeah, the answer is yes. Brad says they are working on perovskite-based solar cells that can be printed, but the tech is way out. Yeah, I'm sure they are. If it's not available to us, it doesn't exist. If I can't get my hands on it, it doesn't exist for me. Let's see. Peter is HV Powerwall on YouTube. Yep, that's him. Alan's saying the only one is over the top. Let's see. That's not for me, is it? Now, Peter used to be friends with Jesus. They had a falling out. Wait. So first, I'm not Jesus. My name is Jehu. And Peter and me are still friends. We didn't like each other for a little while. And that's because his people over there at his group kept deleting all my messages. And, I was forced to start my own group on Facebook. Now we're okay. We talked, he comments on my videos. I comment on his. It's fine. We're friends. Which is, which is not the best of friends. It kind of does bug me that he is helping Batrium because for free, right? And I think he's selling himself short because, his endorsement is actually very valuable. You know what I mean? Like the Batrium guy is growing. His company's growing. He's hiring people. He's making money, right? Maybe not making money because he's growing right now, but eventually when he's got a big company with those, anyways, he's making money off of that. And so for Peter to just kind of give away his advertisement, like he can do whatever he wants. So the thing is that he messes it up for me because then I can't go to that guy and be like, hey, well, how about you give me some money so you can advertise for you or whatever. He's like, why? Peter's doing it for free. So he's kind of messing it up for me, right? So I don't like that fact, but I mean, I just have to resign to the fact that these are two grown men that have free will and they're going to do whatever they want. And, whether I like it or not, it plays very little role in their decision making. And so, yeah, that's why I'm not working with those guys currently, right? And it sucks because, like I said, it's a good product. I think a lot of you guys are using it, right? And I think it's great that you guys are using it.
I have an interest in making these batteries safe, right? For the longest time, I've been preaching that batteries are not dangerous. I mean, they can be dangerous, but they're not the bombs. People like to call them bombs, and I'm like, it's a terrible analogy because even though they do explode, they never like they're terrible bombs. They're terrible at starting fires because you try to get them to catch fire. You see a bunch of videos online where people are like shooting nails through them. They're like hacking them in half, and they're not able to get them into fire. Right? Like it has to be like all the stars have to be aligned correctly to be able to get a battery to catch fire. You have to have a fully charged battery, and usually the best way to do it is to cut it in half, have like massive, mechanical damage, right? Trauma to the cell, or you have to heat it up with like a torch. That's one for sure. Charge it all the way up, 100%, and then put a torch to it. Boom, that thing's gonna go, right? But I mean, in regular use, that usually never happens. I mean, that's a very rare case scenario, and if you're using a battery the right way, right? It's almost like saying like cars. I always like to use this, and I know I sound like an old record, but it's like saying cars are dangerous. Look, you get on it and you speed as fast as it goes up against a concrete wall. Yeah, and you're gonna get hurt. Like almost 100% chance that you're gonna get hurt, right? It's the same thing as saying like, oh, batteries are dangerous. Yeah, look, you charge it all the way up and you put a bunch of like heat onto it, or you short it out, or you cut it in half. Yeah, almost 100% it's gonna catch fire, right? So you just don't do that sort of stuff. So yeah, I have an interest in making sure that you guys don't do something wrong, and get your batteries to catch fire, right? And Batrium is one of those best ways to do it. And it kind of sucks that I can't kind of work with them because they're whatever, you know. Let's see here. YouTube really needs to add a message feature so you can message people in live streams, unless that is already a feature. Well, yeah, it's called a chat. Well, I see what you're saying. Like between you guys, maybe. HV Powerwall does it for free, but he also gets stuff cheap as a tester. Yeah, but I mean that is selling yourself short. I mean, like really, you guys don't get it. Like when he endorses and you guys, how many of you guys know Bacham because of Peter, right? There's hundreds of you. Like all of you guys that are buying this thing, right? And this guy's making tens of thousands of dollars in profits, right? And Peter's doing it for the price of one little unit, Oh, here's the thing. It's $400 to $800. Well, in his case, it's probably more because he's using so many of those long ones, right? Because he's doing it the expensive way. But even there, even if he gives them $3,000 or whatever, it's like, as far as I know, Peter said that he's going to give them free advertising for life, for here forever, because he's so thankful to the guy, right? And I'm like, wow, that is good, right? That's so generous of him. He's so thankful. But yeah, thanks a lot. You're messing it up for me, like, because this guy has no interest now to seek other kinds of advertising. Yeah, I mean, Peter has some clout, right? Like, there's a lot of you guys that watch his videos. There's a lot of you guys that, and so for him to be like, I ain't taking no money. Have you considered asking Batro for money? Yes, I have. They said they can't. Yeah, they said they don't have money right now. They don't have money to spend. And I kind of agree with him, right? It's like, if I look at this objectively, it's like, the guy's growing so fast. He can't handle the current load of orders that are coming in, right? And so why would he spend a dime, paying for advertising, paying for someone else to endorse his product when he can't handle the current load of orders that are coming in, right? Like, I was like, well, yeah, you're right. I wouldn't spend money. If I was you, I wouldn't pay me money. Because first, you'd have to get on top of your workload. First, you demand, it's like, and then only then can you go there, right? But maybe if that happens, then I'm hoping that one day happens, and then he comes to me and says, hey, I'm ready now. I need sales. Can you let's work together, right? And so then, yeah, then we're good to go. But right now, Peter's advertisement, it's so successful that the guy can't keep up with it, right? So you guys are ordering, even though you guys are. I saw a thread where you guys are totally hating the price hikes and stuff from him or whatever. It doesn't matter. You guys are still ordering. The guy can't ship them fast enough, right? So it's a total success. You guys are using it. But now it says Jehu equals Jesus. That's funny. So yeah, that's just some of the way it goes. Hey Jehu, can you make a video on DC to DC power supply series and parallel connection? Yeah, I actually have one. Sumith? Yes, go check my videos. I have one where I talk about this, and I talk about making, I think it's called a 2 kilowatt hour power supply for $200 or for $100. I don't know, something like that. I basically use 2 power supplies in series. I show you how to do that so that you can, make, and then using one of these, you make a, a DIY battery charger that you can set up to like 190 volts, I think, or so. I think these go all the way to 90 volts. I think you can go 60 volts on the input and up to 100 volts on the output. So pretty versatile little thing there. So yeah, go check that out if you haven't. I will make some other ones. I will, yeah, I'm experimenting with those still. So, Ruben Lopez, thank you for the $5. Go live earlier. Just got this on my notifications. Yes. Usually I go on here later around this time at 8 o'clock, but today I decided to go a little bit earlier. Yeah, I will try it. I do realize that the earlier I go, the more of you guys watch. So it's definitely a thing that I need to do. I know I've seen some live streams that go on like at noon, and it's incredible the amount of people that are, which is crazy because you're like, aren't you guys working on a Monday, on a weekday? What's going on? But maybe a lot of you guys are like me, where you're actually your own bosses and are doing this stuff kind of on the side, or, you have a more, flexible, schedule like me or whatever. Why don't you pull supercaps to save on battery? Supercaps can deliver up to 1,000 amps and can be charged super fast, and we don't need that. Yes, those things do the thing that we don't need. We actually need a battery that can hold a lot of energy, not give us a lot of energy really quick. Like, that is not the thing we're doing. If we were doing drag racing, if we were, then we would looking at supercaps, right? But we don't need that. We don't need fast energy really quick. We need slow energy for a long time so that we can make our batteries last a long time. Let's see. Any experience with 26 amp cells of the Ford Fusion trying to build 200 amp hour battery pack and advice would be great. No, I've never looked at the Ford's hybrid. Those batteries, and the reason is because those batteries are really small, right? 26 amp hours, and they usually play a big role in pushing the car. And so as a result of that, they are, they get stressed quite a bit. And by the time that you get them, a lot of those cells are pretty beat up, right? And so, yeah, usually I don't look at hybrid cells in a favorable way because they're really beat up all the time. Sort of like the Leaf batteries. The way they design the system, the thing that, they're, by the time you get them, you're like, oh my God, these things are pretty beat up, so we don't want to use them as much. Have you considered asking me? Yeah, okay, so I actually answered that one already. Why am I answering the same questions again? How is Tesla building out their multi-megawatt system? Parallel and series are key. Yeah, maybe. H3 Powerwall does for free. Oh, okay. I am actually reading all the same ones again. Why is that? I hope so. You're surrounded by them. What are you talking about? Batteries? Yeah, batteries. Yeah, I mean, never say never, I guess, right? But yeah, batteries are super dangerous, but they're also super benign. They are helping us. They're our best friends. We're using them all day, every day. I mean, battery. I mean, you look in your home, right? There's batteries all over the place. Let's see here. I'm dragging behind. Let me fast forward a little bit. People watch the stream at work. It's a parametric. That's true. I guess that's always the case too. Where you guys get. It's so weird because I used to have a job before the cell phone, and then I kind of went on my own, and then the whole cell phone happened, right? The smartphone. So I'd never been at work, where I had a boss and I had a thing where I had to clock in when the phone, after the phone was introduced, or the smartphone. So yeah, I don't experience that. It's like, what do you guys do? Are you guys on the phone all day? Is that what? Because I definitely know that people are driving with the phone, right? Everyone's driving around, texting and looking at their phone. So that's a thing, right? And that's a scary thing. But as far as working, I said, yeah, I haven't experienced that. So it's weird that you guys say that. Pablo Campos says, I'm having trouble to figure out the battery size and inverter to be able to power a pump. 5 horsepower, 220 volts. Well, that should be, look, I'm going to use my phone. Look, there's a bunch of variables. It's kind of hard to figure this out, but you can do your best just using those numbers, right? So, by the way, horsepower is a unit of energy, right? So it's like, you could do 5, Google this, 5 horsepower, 2 kilowatt, right? And then you search, and Google says that 5 horsepower is about 3.73 kilowatts, right? So you're looking almost at 4 kilowatt motor, right? And of course, you'd have to, just because a motor's rated at 5 horsepower doesn't mean it's always going to be running full at peak, right? You probably, if people that were smart and designed that system, made it so that it can run continuously. So what you have to figure out is, what does the motor run at continuous? That's important, not the peak. But let's say that for some reason it runs at peak, or let's figure it at peak. So you're looking at around 4 kilowatt, and that's 4 kilowatt per hour, right? And so then the next thing you have to look at is, how long do you want to run? If you wanted to run for 24 hours off of a battery, then you just do 24 times 4. And that would be about 96 kilowatt hours. So that's how big your battery has to be, right? Then if you want to figure out individual cells and other stuff, then, to make 220 volts, you probably need an inverter. If you want to, you have to make these from DC power of the battery, you have to make it into AC. And let's say that you want to do that at 48 volts, right? So 96 watt hours, or 96, what did I say? Kilowatts. 96,000 watts, right? Then you divide that by 48 volts. So, wow, is that really? Yeah, 96, yeah, the 96, yeah, so that would be, wow, 48, is that right? Let's see, 48 times 2,000? Yeah, so that would be about 2,000 amp hours. So at 48 volts, right, if you're building a 48 bank, then you need 2,000 amp hours, right? And so then, yeah, you just parallel a bunch of batteries so that you have your lithium cobalt oxide, and now you're going to be around 14 cells, right? So each 14 group of cells is going to have to equal about 2,000 amp hours, right? If you're doing, if you're doing 18650s, woo, 2,000 amp hours. Let's say that you're using, NCR 18650 dBs, right? That you bought from EV West at evwest.com. You divide that by 13.3, I think, watt hours. Is that what it is? Wow, so that's 150. Wait, is that 150 cells? 150 cells times 3.4 amp hours? No, that's wrong. The 500 cells. Yeah, so you need about I don't know. I was doing the wrong math there. About 500 cells per group, right? And so yeah, you do 500 times 14. Woo! You need 700 cells. But you need about, it's close to 100 kilowatt hours, right? So like a Tesla car, it's about 7,000 cells. That it adds up, right? The numbers don't lie. Watch the first behind the scenes. Look over long. Okay, so I just can't tell messages. Jade Garcia, time zones, dude, is late on the East Coast. Who knows how many people are international? Yeah, that's true. But at any time during the day, it's too late for someone in the world. so yeah, I kind of get your guys' point, but at the same time, well, it's midnight right now. All day and all day at one place in the world, right? So do a video with the Stanley dude. Who's the Stanley dude? Let's see. Hey, look at that. Will Prowse is in the house. I put an amp meter on the lowest voltage cell with that balancer, and it never did a true active balancer. It only burned off power from highest voltage cell, faster rate than most, but not true active. I put an amp meter on the lowest. Oh, so you're saying energy never flowed into the weakest cell or the lowest cell? Oh, is that the thing? That is true, right? These are advertised as active balancers, where it transfers energy instead of burning it. You're right, man, because it doesn't really have resistors in here. I don't think these have resistors. It's very interesting. So, have you made a video about that? Where are you? Will. So I can just go and copy it. Anyways, yeah, I got to put a test on that and see if we can figure it out. Closest power line is 120 kilo. Oh, look at that. Off grid. The closest power line is 120 kilometers away. Wow. Oh, there we go. Did you answer? Okay, so it never did a true the most. Okay, so it's smoke comes out of Jay's head when he does math. That is true. I mean, if you want to see brain cells die, just ask me a math question, and then I'm confused. I'm nervous. I want to die. I'm looking for my phone. That's what's happening. Oh my god, that's crazy. Let's see what else. What else do we have? 1 p.m. here. Alan Gilbert says. There we go. It's early for him. It's just the right time for him. Where are you, Alan? I want to use headways as a starter battery. What would be a good BMS to pull that 1 second current to the? You should find this one. That's what I'm going to use of mine. Look at this guy. This is a massive, this is a massive with 6 American wire gauge 200 degrees Celsius cable. Yeah, this is the beast right here. It's rated at 200 amps. So 200 watts, 200 amps, and it's 12 volt. This is a 4S. 12 volt. There we go. Type it in. Search it. Go look for it. I think it's not too expensive. I think it's like $100. And I will let you know if it works. Stay tuned for the video. I'm actually having some parts being cut. So the bus bars, I'm having them cut by a machine shop. And so when I build that project, I'm going to be able to either sell them to you so you don't have to go, looking around for them. Because I don't know. I can't get that. I need to be able to find places that can manufacture custom stuff and then just you guys can order directly from them, right? Because why do I need to stock this stuff, right? That's what I'm trying to get away from. But I don't know. Maybe I can do that with these guys. I've worked with them before. So yes, exactly, says Will. It's not a true active balancing. Those are passive balancers, but they turn on automatically. The true active balancers are more expensive. I'd say 18650s cost you, because you can get them new. Can you get a Nissan Leaf battery new? No, you can't. And most of them are just totally kind of dead. They're degraded. Couldn't help but notice the guitar and bass. What brand are those? Oh man, I don't know. What brand? Oh, well, one's a Fender Telecaster, Fender Telecaster, and then the other one is an Ibanez cheap bass. It's just an Ibanez. Yeah, I used to play in a band, but now I don't. I don't do that. No time for that nonsense. Yeah, I did a video on it, but my viewers caught it because they test them and proved me wrong. What do you mean? They called you on it and then you have to take it down, or what? When it comes to cell bouncing, active bouncing is the way to go. Yeah. What spot welder do you use? Gonna do? Yeah. So I don't have a good spot welder. I should probably. I hate getting stuff for free now. It's so weird. Like, I used to get angry because people didn't want to believe in me, right? Because they didn't want to believe in me, and so they didn't want to like give me a free thing so that I can test it and do the thing. It used to bug me because I'm like, hey, I'm important, whatever. Uh, Now I am super conflicted. Now I'm like, no, I don't want anything for free. Yeah, because then I don't want to owe people, like, it's conflict of interest, right? Like, I want to be an owner of my opinion and stuff. And so if I get stuff for free, then it's, then you feel obligated to be nice to them or whatever, even though you're like, hey, I'm not going to say anything, because you're telling me to say it. But you kind of do, so I have to be careful about that. And so now I kind of cringe at the offer. I get offers all day for free stuff. And I'm like, nope. So I should probably just order one of those DIY things, right? I don't know. We'll see. I just don't have that much use for it. I'm trying to get away. I'm trying to like sell my little thing, and that goes against that. No, I'll do it. Like, of course, everything that I learn, I give to you guys. Like, there's always like that. I learned a long time ago that by sharing is the way to go. This is a new world. This is not the old world where like you hold on to your leads and to your, that's it works, but it doesn't work. Now it's the age of information, right? And so this just wouldn't work that way and stuff. So you got to give it for free. Share the knowledge. Greg Calkins, thank you for the $10. Keep up the good work. Have any suggestions on where to buy high-speed golf cart motors for less than retail? No. So I actually only know one place, and that's, those guys at HPVS. But these are high-performance golf carts. That's what they used to be called, and now it's high-performance electric vehicles. But they actually started doing golf cart motors, right? High-performance golf cart motors. But other than that, no, I don't. I haven't gotten into the whole golf cart thing. I should, right? But it's a journey. It's a journey, and yeah, like for example, Will is much better than me at doing the solar panels, of doing the batteries for the RV stuff, the off-grid, right? Because he's been living that. He's been, he's been doing it for a long time. He's actually lives the off-grid life, right? And so I couldn't speak out of experience. All I can do is kind of, think about it, and I can give my opinion. I can say I think this is how it works, like I just conjecture and stuff, but yeah, so I try not to try to give my opinion on stuff that I don't know. And since there's so much that I don't know, you're probably going to hear that quite a bit. Um, let's see. What is this guy? Be careful, Jake, that big BMS. You have killed a 20S pack on Nissan Leaf cells. I don't know if it was something I did, but it drained them flat. Oh, so this big BMS. So this same brand? Well, it's kind of hard. Dali? I guess that's the brand Dali. The thing about these guys is that it's a hit and miss, right? There's so many factories in China making all this stuff. Some of them they're use better quality components. Some of them use worse quality components. And so, yeah, you could be right. You could be right. This same one might have killed your battery. The BMSs tend to do that. BMSs tend to kill batteries, especially when you discharge them, right? And if you leave them there, for some reason they don't have a cutoff switch where they disconnect themselves from a dying battery, and it will kill your batteries. Alan Giver says Jehu band powered by Jehu Wall. Oh yeah, I've been thinking about that. I've been thinking about promotional spots where I take a band in the middle of the desert and I take some batteries, my power walls or whatever, and then like put up a little concert, in the middle of nowhere, right? All power with batteries. So that's one way to kind of advertise my thing or whatever and still make a cool little video, It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen soon. When I'm ready to, go big with my power thing, it's gonna happen. Let's see. DIY dances was your band Jehu y los baterías. That's a good one. I wish it was. Yeah, I couldn't foresee back then that I was going to be into batteries. Batteries are such a weird thing. Like, who likes batteries? I'm sorry, guys. You guys are a bunch of losers. Why are you guys talking about batteries? I mean, that's one way to not attract women, for example. Batteries are the most uncool thing to talk about. But look at us. Here we are. We're changing the world. Alan Gilbert doesn't still own. Oh man, what is that? I use the Spot Welder 10K welds and works great. And then he put a thing. Let's look at that. I clicked on the link. Hopefully it's not. Oh, really? The skate builders? Oh, look at that one. Boss level custom spot welder. Huh. And it's got the little screen there. Remove seal after washing. What is that? What do you mean release? What does that mean? It looks like a cool little welder. And it's got a custom pan, or did you make that? And it's got a little fan on there. Look at that. Look at all those little, it's got all the little heat sinks in there that you put on there. With more fans. Wow, that's a cool one. I like it. I might get one of those. Order it, and then, I am going to need one for my bus batteries. I keep talking about this bus, but I should probably talk less about what I'm going to do and do more of what I need to do. But I am going to need one for that battery that I'm going to build. So Will says Dali BMS is awesome. They can't make a BMS with whatever you want. They are working on a low temp cutoff system for LiPo4 batteries right now. They are awesome. Wait, so is the same one, Dali? Is this the one? Hey, there we go. So now we have someone that says it killed their batteries. Now we have someone that says that they're a good company. I don't know. This is the first one that I get. In fact, I have more. I have the 100 amp version and then there's 200 amp version. I was going to use the 100 amp version, but I thought, that's not impressive enough. 200. Bam. And I'm gonna use them with the these guys right here, right? So that's a build that is it's happening. It's moving forward slowly. Golf, high speed golf cart motor. Good question. I have a 48 volt 500 amp or 600 amp motor. Ooh, there you go, man. Those are big numbers. I mean, that's like car, almost car, level. Full like street car. My controller is 600 amps, but it's a 96 volt version, right? But it almost operates at 130 to 111, 100 to 130 volts. That's the range right there. And that's about 80 kilowatts. So that's quite a bit of power. 100 horsepower. You shouldn't need that much in a golf cart. 267 watching now. Wow, you guys are hanging out. Mustafa, wow, what a name. Mustafa says, Mustafa? Was that like is that like from the Lion King? Mustafa? Will it worth it to spend money on dead hoverboard cells, then extracting the working cells from them? Each pack costs $3. Is it worth it? I don't know. That's kind of hard to say because I mean, if they're good quality cells, I guess yes. If they're not, if they're too abused, if they're, I don't know. It's hard. It's a hard question, right? I probably gonna lean on to no because a lot of those are just regular Chinese cells that don't have like a high life. But I could totally be wrong. We did get a bunch of those in the early days. This is how this whole thing started. Actually, is with the hoverboard packs. But they had LG cells and Samsung cells, and those turned out to be okay. And a lot of people bought them. They're doing a lot of stuff. There's cars out there, like full street cars that are running with those cells from those packs and stuff. And so yeah. Can I make a HEV motor more powerful by changing the winding from star to delta configuration? Well, that is a question that I had myself, and according to everything that I read, you could have not more powerful. Did you say can I make a more? I don't think you can make it more powerful. You can just change. I think you change. What do you change? Oh man, it's been a while since I read that. You can't make it more powerful, but you could adjust the speed, I think. I was unsuccessful at doing the experiment that I was doing. I tried it. I rewired it. I did all kinds of stuff, and I was just kind of, I didn't know, right? I was a complete failure. That was one of those projects that I failed miserably at. And, I know someone that is kind of an expert in motors. I probably should have called him and just asked him. He would have probably given me some advice, but I didn't. But yeah, you should. On paper, you should be able to do that. I don't know how to do it. I tried it. I failed. Do the kit website links work for others? I keep getting a blank page. Oh, you know what? Kit. Yeah, Kit. I've heard that before, and I've actually had times where it doesn't work for me. I think that service, they're not super. Yeah, I think they have some downtimes from time to time. But it usually works. It usually works. It's sending a ton of traffic through there. You guys are all clicking on all those things every day and stuff. Any recommendations for charging 36-volt power wall from solar power or wind power source? So, man, you need a good MPPT. And maybe Will be able to help us there because he's been doing that more so than me. I've only tried to do a couple, and the one that I tried was that little green one, and as it turns out, it's not. It wasn't a truly MPPT device, or if it is, it wasn't a very good one and stuff. And I used it for a little while, and it works, and it's cheap. It's about $30 or whatever. But I don't think it's the best one. I think I wanted to compare them with the other, like another one, and I have one. I actually bought one, but I never got around to doing that video. By the way, this is Rocket, and he wants to join the conversation. Right, Rocket? You want to join the conversation? So, yeah, sorry. I think maybe Will let us know which is his favorite solar charge controller that can go with lead acid, not lead acid, that can go with lithium cells all the way to 36 volts, right? That's what we're looking for here. All right. Oh, Cliff Moore, thank you for the $1. Highly, highly appreciate it. Placing a switch on the BMS ground line enabled you to turn the BMS off when not in use. That's a good idea right there. That is a very good idea. I might actually do that on my build, just to make sure that it doesn't, that it doesn't ruin our batteries, right? What? Hey, stop being like that. My friends are wanting. Stop kissing me. You're embarrassing me in front of my friends. Leave it to my family to embarrass me. Look, my dad walking in the background. This guy trying to French kiss me. What's this other guy doing? Oh my God. Okay. Hey. More questions. Hey. Stop it. Go attack him. Go fight over there. When are you going to be using 22700s in your Samba? I want to see the difference between the 18650s. I actually just heard that we might have a bunch of these on hand, like 30,000 of them. So 21700s. The 48Gs. These are 5,000 milliamp hours each. So maybe my bus will end up having these, and I'll have to sell all those boxes that I've been collecting there of the M36s. By the way, anyone who wants to buy some M36s there? They're brand new. Brand new. I have, I think, 2,000 of them. 2,000 brand new cells. Let's see. Whoa. Okay, Star versus Delta is high speed, low torque versus high speed, high torque. You don't get more power. It's more like changing gear ratios. There you go. See, he said it much better than me. I don't know what I'm saying. I knew it was something like that, but no more power. You can't get more power. It's just, there's no free lunch, right? It's like whatever your controller can put out, that's what you got. Whatever your batteries can pull out, that's what you're going to get. Quick break. Let me take a quick break to get something to drink, and then I'll be back. All right? This guy right here. This is what it's called, a barn door. Man, look at those panels. Those panels are cool. Dash is different on this guy. Look at that. Oh wow, look at that airbox. What? Yeah, even
These safaris are different. They have that little thing. This is a barn door, so it doesn't have an overhang. So they have this custom thing there. The mirrors are different than mine. Some barn door mirrors. Yeah, look at that. And this is the kind of setup that I want to do on my bus. These are Porsche Fuchs. These are Porsche Fuchs. What wheel is that? Let's see. And the back ones are nice and thick. So here's the interesting thing. Those are 17-inch wheels. In order to do that on a bus and have it this low, they have to do what is called a tub. So that piece right there is custom. My bus usually stops there. They added an extra 2 inches, 2.5 inches, looks like. And then the seat is really thin. That's a big bug. What?
Do they drive this thing on the road or not?
That's so funny. All right, everyone, I'm back. By the way, this is my dad. He's joining me today. He's 88 years old or something like that. Yeah, when you're his age, you just don't care. You just do whatever you want. So if you guys get to that age, it's a lot of freedom. So anyways, let's get back to it. What are we talking about here? Let's see. What do you guys think? Jay, do you think you and Rich will do some power rolls at his new shop? Woo, it would be cool. Yes, Rich, if you're watching this, let's do some power rolls. So let's do some DIY power rolls in your shop. You're going to need them because you're going to be doing a lot of, well, you know, I don't know. You're going to do a lot of builds. You're going to need a lot of power. Let's see. Gold New Bank says, Jay, what is the best way to support you via YouTube or what? Yeah, man, just share the videos, share the, like and comment and stuff. If you want to send some money my way, you can join the channel. There's a little join button right there, right? And I think that's like $5 a month or something like that, and that just helps me pay the bills and stuff. There's
there's all kinds of ways. I signed up to every one way that people do out there. So there's a million ways. There's just a bunch of links on the bottom of these in every one of my videos. You can just follow any of those links. Looking at, let's see. How much for the brand new cells? We don't know yet. So it's a weird thing. How much? I don't know how much he's getting them for. I don't know how much you guys would pay for them, right? These are not available. You can't, I mean, you can buy onesies and twosies at Amazon for like $11 or something. As much as $10, $11. No less than $5, I don't think, for these. No, I think there's, yeah, no less. I think no less than $7. These are like crazy expensive. The thing is, I don't know if you guys, among you guys, how many of you guys would go for this, right? So I thought we were gonna be able to sell the NCR 18650, the Panasonics and the Sonys, but they're not moving quite as fast. We're thinking about lowering the price on those. It's just those are premium cells. Those are brand new cells. They're priced the lowest in the internet, right? Like, and these are, proven, genuine, straight from the factory. They are, I guess it's kind of an inconvenience to have them not be wrapped. But yeah, they're not, it seems like you guys are not, I'm not convincing enough of you guys to go for those cells. And partly so is because I think there's a lot of these modules, the EV modules, right? I mean, for $1,200, you can get 444. By the way, what does that come up to be? Let's see. Math. Oh my God, my brain is gonna explode. $1,200 divided by 440 cells. Well, yeah. So you can get a module that's already put together, and a 6S module, and you only pay about $2.72 per cell, right? And these are like really good cells. Those are the, 3,400 milliamp hour cells, and you don't have to make a module. So why would you pay $3, for cells that then you still have to like put together, right? For the most part, I'm doing it on my bus because those modules don't fit, and I don't want to change my bus so much to be able to fit those. So that's why I'm using those cells, right? So if you want to make custom modules to fit your particular thing, then you're like, okay, I'm spending $3 per cell, right? But I don't know. I don't know how much you guys would pay for raw cells that then you still have to put together. So I don't know. He said that it was kind of like a done deal. Like he had 30,000 of them, and now I guess I have to figure out how to sell them to you guys at a good enough price that they can make money, I can make money, and you guys can get them at a good price so that you guys can. So yeah, it's a tough business now. There's a lot of batteries out there, right? But yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good thing for you guys because I mean not just for you guys, for everyone, because then you can buy batteries cheaper. When we can get a kilowatt hour for $100, then that's a good thing because then you can have, you can have a huge battery. You can have your dream 100 kilowatt hour pack at home for 10 grand. I mean, come on, we got to get there. How come we're not there yet? Okay, let's see what else. Let's look into another question here. That bus looks like a Brazilian bus with other custom things. It might be. I doubt it, though. Could be. I don't know. I hope not. Nothing against the Brazilian buses, but, they're not really the right bus. They're not German buses. What should we care, right? I missed out on the car show that was here in Atlanta over the weekend because I was going to my 18650 cells to come in. Yeah, you chose the batteries over the cars. Wow. When you charge your Model 3 and a couple other Teslas at EV West a few videos ago with your DIY battery pack, and a 24-volt inverter, how did you keep the charge cable from complaining of lack of grounding. Oh, so what you do is you tie neutral and ground together, because that is what happens in house wiring, and that is the only way that the yeah, that the inverter, not the inverter, the EVSE, or the what does they call it, the mobile charging cable or whatever, um, can check to see if the ground is working or not. It's kind of a weird thing, but that's all you do. You plug in, you just connect. Yeah, you jump ground to neutral, and then that's it. It's, um, advice scooter best battery for scooter skateboard. Um. Uh. Well. Yeah. Look at the tool packs from batteryhookups.com. Go to batteryhookups.com and then look at the battery packs. And he sells like a bunch of these types of things, right? Like this one's right here. This is a 9S, but he sells like 5S. So you can actually do 10S. That's 36 volts. That's common in scooters, and if you have like a high performance one, then you could actually put a couple of those in series. You can get up to like 60 volts or whatever, and those are like high power cells, so they'll give you enough power to go, and they're cheap. So yeah, that's what I recommend getting that. Mustafa is an Arabic name. I live in Iraq. I started a small project made of the hoverboard dead cells, still testing. 450 watts. Cost me $16. Oh, okay, that's not too bad, right? I will send you the picture on Instagram. Okay, there you go. How much were we selling those things? Oh, those were 230 watt hours, I think. And he was selling for $24. Wow, so you're actually getting them cheaper than we were getting them here in the States. That's but ours were not dead. Like, they were good. Hello. Build your own DC supercharger. Yeah, that would be cool. And I think I know the right people to get that done. That might be a thing to do. Right? Because, it might not be very useful, but it definitely will be a thing. It's a good idea. I'll think about that a little bit more and see what we can do. What are the best 18650 to use with an inverter? The Sony VTC6s from evwest.com. Go buy those. evwest.com VTC6s. There you go. What solar panels do you recommend? I don't know. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know enough about solar panels. Will probably could give you a better answer because he's dealt more with solar panels. He's compared all the cheap solar panels on Amazon, and so he knows more about those. Now, if you're talking about a full like house, then you probably want to get the big panels with 60 cells, 72 cells or whatever. And yeah, I don't know much about those. Which ones are the best ones? Which ones give you the best bang for your buck kind of thing? I have so much to learn when it comes to that, and yeah, I just don't want to, give advice where I'm not qualified to do so. So, I built a 12-volt LiPo 4 box. LiPo 4 is lithium iron phosphate. Has a small BMS, but wondering if there is something available to charge from Power Pack or Power Brick, 14 volts to 18 volts, or do I have to buy dedicated charger? Can a solar charger work for that? Yeah, as long as the charger doesn't overcharge your battery. Well, I guess you have a BMS, and that BMS would protect your cells, but you don't want to do that. You don't want to rely on your BMS to cut off the charge, your upper voltages. So that's an emergency only, because what's happens, that doesn't actually intervene until your battery's already overcharged, right? Slightly overcharged. It's overcharged already. So you don't want to do that, because then your battery is always going to be overcharged. So yeah, you'd have to use some kind of charger that you can set the voltage so you can have the right cutoff. And it could be something like this. Like I said, we can use these guys to do that, except can you do that low voltage? I don't know if these work for 12 volts. I have to do some testing on that. I'll have to look at the thing, but they do work on 24 volts. That's what I'm using them. So yeah, look at my video. I already did a video about those, and I have links to where you can buy those and all sorts of stuff. Shaidi Shakur says, hey man, I'm 16 and I'm experimenting with batteries, but I kind of have a big amount in my room, and I don't know if I'm keeping them safe and what to throw out and which batteries are safe. I mean, typically batteries are okay, are safe if you're not doing anything with them, if they're just sitting there. Try to keep them from, overheating. Like, keep them out from direct sun. Like, for example, if you live in some country or some place where it gets really hot, try to avoid that. I mean, lithium batteries they're pretty safe just sitting there. If you're not cycling them in and out, if you're not shorting them out, they should be fine, make sure that you don't short them out. Make sure there's no mechanical damage, like something falls on them and cuts them in half, and they're fully charged, then they're gonna go off. But yeah, other than that, yeah, they're pretty, hey, he came back. Yeah, they're pretty safe batteries to store. Avoid extreme temperatures. Boy, I'm trying to do my thing here, boy. Okay, all right. So it's gonna be 9. We're going to cut it short. I'm just going to get through a few last questions here. As you can see, these guys are getting restless here. I'm going to blame you for cutting this thing short. This is Rocket. It's his fault right here. Okay, let's see here. Who's Will? So Will Prowse is another YouTuber, and he was among you here. Commenting. He was in my last video and stuff, and I'm starting to I went and met him a few weeks ago and stuff, and hopefully I'm gonna get to do some projects with him. Okay, on the note of active balancers, the 24S 1 to 2 amp unit for about $120 does seem to work as advertised. Just balanced out about 5 amp hours or so of error out of a couple of hours. Really? So I wonder if this is the same one that I have here. This is the 1 amp, and this is 1S, or this is a 2S to 24S. And it comes with this little black box or whatever. I think this one was cheaper. It was like $80 or something. I wonder if that's going to be the one that is going to be good. Well, we shall find out. What about the motor? Don't let them drop below 2 volts per cell. Yeah, that's... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, don't let them drop 2 volts per cell. Actually, I would say 2.5 volts per cell, because then they get damaged. Of course, they get damaged. They won't catch fire or anything, but they will, get damaged. If you leave them down there too much, then then they're not going to be good anymore. When you try to use them, they're going to get hot and all this other stuff. That's about it. Question. One last one. Question. Says Southern Boy. and he's got a flag there. I haven't charged my wheelchair batteries in 2 years. and the charger won't charge them. Anything I can to bring them back to life? Well, it depends what kind of batteries they are. Yeah, are they lithium batteries? If they're lead acid batteries, I wouldn't know what to tell you. They, you might have to check to the liquids, right? Because they have fluids and stuff. But if they're lithium batteries, what might have happened is that the BMS, if they have a BMS, then that BMS might have killed your cells, right? Because that's what BMSs do. They're supposed to protect your batteries, but if you don't charge your batteries for a long time, what they end up doing is killing your batteries. So they basically just siphon all the life and energy off of your batteries, and then they're there. So then when you try to charge it, then the MOSFETs are off. So what you can do is you can take the battery apart, and do I have a battery? I don't have one in here, but usually what you do is you take the battery apart, and then you can get to the actual terminals of the cells, and you have to figure out the configuration. If it's a 12-volt battery, 24 is going to be 7 cells in series or 7 groups of series. If it's a 12, then it's going to be less than that, 3 or 4 or something like that. And then what you can do is you can manually charge, or you figure out the voltage in each cell. If it's like more than 0, then you have a chance of actually waking up those cells. If they're like 0 or very close to 0 and they've been there for 2 years, pretty much that battery is going to be toast. It's going to be dead. Most of those cells are going to be damaged beyond. And so then if you can get those batteries to catch fire, then you should be able to. Lead acid. Oh, so it's lead acid volts, 212-volt wired as in 24. Yeah. So yeah, then that whole BMS thing doesn't apply to that. You probably just have to check if they're sealed lead acid. They're pretty much done, I think, because then you can't get to the voltage. And I know I don't know enough about lead acid batteries to actually give you good advice there. Yeah, you might have to buy some new ones, or change to lithium. But of course, lithium, it's got its own sets of challenges and stuff. But yeah, all right. With that, I say thank you, guys. Thank you for spending your night with me. Thank you for asking questions. Thank you to all our members of the channel here, like DDA40X Man here. He's a channel member. There was a few other ones that were here earlier. Thank you guys for that, and everybody, make sure you guys thank them because they're the ones that make this possible for these live things that we do, weekly here. If you want to support the channel, make sure you click on the join button there. I think it's like $4 or $5 a month or something. That's one way that you can support me. And then we'll do these lives and stuff and kind of answer your questions and stuff. Other than that, thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for all your comments and your shares and your thumbs up. Like here, we have 100 thumbs up. If you haven't thumbs up this video, do it. It helps the video rank better, and then it gets out there, more people get to see it, and that's just better for me, right? Because then it spreads the good news, the good battery gospel, the battery thing, right? And so, yeah, thank you for that. We'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for everything. Bye. This guy right here. This is what it's called, a barn door. Man, look at those panels. Those panels are cool.
this guy. Look at that. Oh, wow, look at that airbox. What? Yeah, even these safaris are different. They have that little thing. This is a barn door, so it doesn't have an overhang, so they have this custom thing there. The mirrors are different than mine. Some barn door mirrors. Yeah, look at that. And this is the kind of setup that I want to do on my bus. These are Porsche Fuchs. These are Porsche Fuchs. What wheel is that? Let's see. And the back ones are nice and thick. So here's the interesting thing. Those are 17-inch wheels. In order to do that on a bus and have it this low, they have to do what is called a tub. So that piece right there is custom. My bus usually stops there. They added an extra 2 inches, 2.5 inches, looks like. And then the seat is really thin. That's a big bug. What?
Do they drive this thing on the road or not?
That's so funny. This is a test of a Light-O-Color branded LGHG2 cell. According to the spec sheet, this cell can do a maximum of 20 amp continuous and shouldn't go above 75 degrees Celsius in temperature. And just like that, with that little crack, the cell is damaged beyond repair. At 15 amp load, this cell reached a maximum temperature of 100 degrees Celsius, at which point the CID was triggered and now the battery is open circuit. So that's how you kill a fake LGHG2 branded Light-O-Color cells. More
Battery heaven.
These are the, so you know which ones are, right? The VTC6s, the Sony ones, the 30 amp continuous.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Brand new.
Beautiful. No way. Those are so fancy and nice. Yeah, let me look at that one.
Yeah, watch out. Don't, if you short that as 30 amps. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I know, they're like 50, 60 amps.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
This little thing is just, look how tiny that is.
yeah, they're super scary when you're handling them because like
So
if
yeah,
you
this
short
back
it-
so that you can short it with that, right?
well, right here, this is positive. Negative. This is positive right here.
Oh, it's on the top? Oh, it's
Yeah.
right there. Wow, that is crazy.
Yeah, so if you when you're like changing them, if you put it on top of the other one, then that one will short out and like.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so and they're raw, right? So they're kind of.
I want to see how they like range these in the battery pack because you could have small form factor with this.
Yeah, so they actually are doing positive and negative on the same side.
All right, I'm gonna ride a scooter, electric scooter, for the first time. We're in downtown LA, and there's 4 of us. Woo! So, we're gonna make this happen. So a couple of nights ago, we decided to go to downtown LA to see this dance music festival thing that they have over there. And after about an hour of watching people dance, we got hungry, and so we decided to go and have the best ramen in LA County. This is the second best ramen in LA. This is the best ramen in LA. But as the song goes, nobody walks in LA, and so therefore, scooters, electric scooters. Why are they on the side? We're going? Okay. I got stuck in the red light. No, the light was red. I was almost. Yeah, it's a lot easier without carrying all this crap. It would be fun. Oh, these newbies. These noobs. Come on, what is this crap? Yeah, mine is not going. Come on! One is running out of battery. Oh, one more. One more.
It's not even going fast enough to stay on.
Man, mine goes fast. The one that I made doesn't even know you're on it. Yeah. This thing doesn't go up hills very well. It's going like 5 miles an hour maybe. Full throttle. Pedal to the metal. You're not gonna make it.
It's all dying. It's like you weigh way too much.
I wonder if the battery, does it tell you what battery it has?
That?
Oh, it's fully charged, so. So we'll just leave them up here. Yeah. So we survived. Survived the ride. None of us fell. None of us got run over. So you have to use the app to click it?
Validate proper parking. Take a photo of where you parked the lime to help the next rider find it.
I know. My map's like all squiggly because I stopped and there. And that's where Evelyn kept jumping off.
Yeah.
Okay, so now what do I do?
That's it. We go home. So how much does this Powerwall cost? Let's do a rundown on the prices of all the components. First, we have the solar charge controller available for $38.99, the bidirectional meter at $29.99, non-interruptible power supply available for $30. The battery modules are $50 each. There's 10 of them, so it's $500 in total. The 32-inch metal box is $59.22. A fuse holder is $682. The battery management system, the long ones are $14 each, and the main unit is like $200, so it comes down to a total of $342. All of these components come to a grand total of $1,008 US. You can find the links for all these parts on the description of this video. I want to thank you for watching. Stay tuned for future videos, all having to do with DIY renewable energy. Let's make a Powerwall.
Positive, positive.
Well, they're not super even, but they're okay.
Whoa, they are kind of all over the place.
And just like that, we assembled a 1 kilowatt hour battery pack, 24 volts, ready to be used.
So where are we at right now?
So yeah, we're at the Victoria Gardens Rancho Cucamonga supercharger. There's 12 superchargers. Superchargers are practically my home anyways. I'm charging every single day of my life, hence the license plate that you got. And dude, there is so much stuff to do here at the AMC movie theater. Soon enough, charging time isn't going to be long enough for you to watch a movie theater, so AMC is kind of pointless for Tesla customers. But
How far
I'm
from
only
the freeway are we?
how far away? Yeah, so off the 210, about I don't know 5 to 7 miles probably. Yeah, not very far. I mean, you got to drive a little. Most of them are actually closer to the freeway. This one is a bit further off. There is a supercharger closer to the freeway than this one. It's a little bit more east though, by a couple miles. It's actually quite close to here.
So if you're on your way to Vegas and
Yeah.
you can't make it to that one, then Rancho Cucamonga. is
Yeah,
good.
Rancho Cucamonga on your way to Vegas, or Joshua Tree, right?
Joshua Tree,
Yeah,
yeah.
headed to Joshua Tree.
And while you charge, if you have one of those slower speeds, you could just catch a movie there, right?
Yeah, AMC. I mean, this is an entire mall.
This is an entire mall, yeah. So there's restaurants, there's all kinds of stuff here to do.
Or as I would do, just flip down my bed and take a nap. That's what I fell asleep here last night, actually. I spent an hour plugged in after I was fully charged. No idle fees, thankfully. I don't know how I get away with it. I think Elon's got my account on that like good boy list, you know? I'm on his good boy list.
All right. So yeah, so this is a good review for the.
Yeah, now you know. This is the Rancho Cucamonga supercharger, and come visit. It's beautiful right now. It's gonna get hot real soon though. It's gonna get hot.
Let's talk about the EV West M3.
I'm Michael Breen with EV West, and 7 years ago we started our little electric car speed shop so we could help people make classic cars go faster. At the time we were looking around for venues, and there wasn't a lot available to electric cars, and we came across Pikes Peak, and they actually had a class. And we ended up building the car, purpose-built for Pikes Peak. We ran the race in 2012. We ended up setting a record for the fastest street-legal electric car to go up the hill.
Now the car that Michael is talking about is the famous M3.
342 horsepower and 850.4 pound-feet of torque.
A few years later, I saw it. So you want to build a DIY Powerwall. I'll show you how to do one. Using these as batteries and these as your inverter, you can build a small DIY Powerwall. Let's get going.
Alrighty. Alrighty, here we go. Look at it go.
Some 100 kilometers south of the border, there exists a place. This is what's known as La Bufadora. It's a place where the water comes out. It's a blowhole. And let's sit around and watch the water come out here. I think I'm gonna get wet. Was La Bufadora all that it's cracked up to be? Or
Yes.
were you impressed?
I was splashed. Watch your step.
Big splash.
Yeah, I was like 7 years old last time I was
I'm allergic to birds.
Today I'm gonna show you how to build this electric skateboard. As you know, electric skateboards are a thing now. They've been a thing for a while. There's the expensive ones, there's the cheap ones, and everything in between. But there's a new breed of electric skateboards. They're off-road, and you got a glimpse of one of them last time I was in New York, and I got to meet Vitaly, which runs the Portable Electric Vehicles channel on YouTube. He built himself this beast of an electric skateboard that supposedly does about 55 miles per hour, which is just insane. So I thought I would show you how I would build one on the cheap, using off-the-shelf parts to keep the build simple. So let's get started. You ever wonder what people think about our electric conversions? See the reactions on this 70s Porsche 911.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Fuck yes. In a Porsche. Fuck yes.
All right, so I just arrived in Manhattan. My allergies are killing me. You see, oh my God, I feel like crap. But it's early. A few other family members are here this time around, so I'm gonna go meet them. They're somewhere already exploring the city, so I gotta go get them. All right, we made it to Grand Central Station. Let's go do some donuts. If you're interested in more technical details on this build, please visit Austin's YouTube channel called Ostiwawa. Also, if you're interested in lithium batteries for your projects, check out batteryhookups.com, the sponsor of this video. They have a huge inventory of different types of lithium batteries at really great prices. I'm here at the EV show, San Marcos, California, and here's Crystal charging her Tesla in the solar trailer. So this is a smart one. It follows the sun, it tracks the sun. It's got Tesla batteries in there. Let's see, it's charging. What's it putting in? Oh my God, it's charging at 32 amp, 243 volts. Wait, what? Okay. Yes. Wow, this thing is actually charging.
Oh, yeah.
No way. That's cool. Okay. Oh, look at that. It just adjusted to follow the sun. The sun's there. Now the panels are facing it. Empty. What's going on here?
So around 2010, we started seeing the Tesla Roadster hype. And if you look at it just based on specifications, you're like, this power plant, we should be able to put this in other cars. We just kind of started a project, kind of like a technical exercise to see if we could actually build our own, kind of homebrew electric race car.